The Mark Roman Empire, also a podcast, is sponsored by Ella Dawn Designs, creators of the trademarked Ultimate Shoe Bag. Go to elladdawndesigns.com. Save 10% when you use discount code ROMAN at checkout. elladdawndesigns.com. Also sponsored by Vegas 90210. Why do we say, I put the I in improv? Lieutenant Frank. Hollywood Cap. Beetlejuice. Buddy the Elf. Don't forget Ron Burgundy. Could there be more? These are characters citizens and nightclubs in Hollywood and Vegas have hired me to perform live, without a script, without a net, infused with that certain je suis à toi only I can deliver. Upgrade your event with the characters of Vegas 90210. Book one today at vegas90210.com. Hey, what we say we get with the podcast here? Groovy?
Spreading the news like mayonnaise on toast.
Gary, I have a mission for you.
Flux capacitor? Okie dokie. But let me tell you about that time I drove a cab.
Money that's something, chicks that read. I want my Mark TV. First, you're not on TV. Podcast. Now, that is some weird and wild stuff. Did you know that, Ed?
Yes.
Well, Robin attended Juilliard. I attended Hillsdale. I'm a graduate of the San Francisco Comedy College. I've traveled the Midwest quite extensively. I lived through The Big Short and had a pretty good time doing that.
I've seen Pat Robertson jabber about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a subversive. So what do you think? Do you think I'm qualified?
Oh, well, I think we'll need to pray about that and ask your father.
Shut up, Marilyn!
The Mark Roman Empire, also a podcast.
It's showtime!
Eastbound and down, load up and trucking. We're gonna do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch old bandit run. Keep your foot hard on the pedal, so never mind them brakes. Let it all hang out, cause we got a run to make. The boys are thirsty in Atlanta, and there's beer in Texarkana, and we'll bring it back no matter what it takes. Eastbound and down, 18 wheels are rolling. We're gonna do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go, and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch old bandit run. That was my Markioki of Eastbound and Down. The song by Jerry Reed. And sorry about the voice, kids. I'm feeling a little better now, but, oh boy, last few days. Hey, we all love my Lieutenant Frank. I love performing him. You love experiencing him. But I think Lieutenant Frank overdid it a little at the Chargers tailgate this past weekend. William F. Buckley Jr. in his National Review stood athwart history and yelled, "Stop." My body is now standing athwart my typically animated performance to say, "Stop yelling." Is it too soon to ask you to support the podcast sponsors? elladdawndesigns.com, vegas90210.com, markromanempire.com, click merch. I might need a little vacation to recharge the batteries, kids. Working artists like me don't get vacation pay. Eastbound and Down. Not the show, the song by Jerry Reed. Jerry drove the semi-truck full of bootleg beer while Burt Reynolds drew off the Smokies in his black Pontiac Trans Am in that classic 1977 film, Smokey and the Bandit. We did lose Burt. He's now in that big Trans Am in the sky. I never met Burt. I did sit next to Sally once for work. Tell that story another time. Wow, that was my childhood. Smokey and the Bandit, Cannonball Run. Damn, I am old. I almost forgot there was a time when I thought my life wouldn't be complete without the keys to a black Trans Am. That's before I even knew how to say, I love Reaganomics, National Review, and Oliver North. Now I have a union card and a son who just turned 20, who says gosh and darn on his way to the chemistry lab at the university. Oh, hi there. I'm Mark Roman. Mark who? Mark Roman. You know, like the Empire. We continue to record here at Jung Records. That's Jung, Jung Records here in North Hollywood. Carefully nestled in the wardrobe houses, car crushing yards, and strip club next door district. You know the one. On sound, we've got Austin, the proprietor here at Jung Records. If you're looking to rent space to record your sound, talk to Austin. Am I right, Austin?
You know it. Thank you, Mark.
Copy that. Dude. Yeah, I'm talking just to the dudes here for a hot minute. Can I do that? Dude, you need to watch more Ellen. And The View. Oh, you heard me. I know what you're going to say. Mark, what is it with you always promoting stand-up comics? And now Whoopi on The View, Ellen on Ellen. Dude, seriously? It's about the ladies. And when I say watch more, what I really mean is listen more. It's not just Les Moonves and Jeff Fager over at the CBS who watched more than they listened. I think they did a little bit more too. But by the time this podcast drops, there will probably be more gropers and rapists losing jobs and golden parachutes. It's almost as bad as trying to stay current with the latest orange outrage out of the Oval Office. But very similar. Dudes, we need to listen more. As Greg Proops would say, not because of your sister, your mom, your daughter. Think as if you were a woman. Yeah. Hey, there's a first time for everything. And how? Thought you'd never ask. Start with Ellen and the voice. Listen to what the women have to say. As if you too are a woman. There. Listening. And then, baby steps. Consider the women in your life, in your workplace, among your friends. Stop thinking about whether you want to fuck her or not for just 5 minutes in your day. Did you know the woman in front of you has a law degree? No, you didn't. It only came up in conversation several dozen times, but you know her cup size. You've been staring at her tits this whole time. You're still thinking about them now. You know, as Joe Rogan reminds us, imagine as a dude walking into a gym, a gay gym. Are you feeling all those eyes on you? That's just a tiny bit of what it feels like to be a woman in our, I hesitate to say it, civilization. Only every moment of every day. Empathy. It's what's for breakfast. Start with watching a little Ellen and The View. Dude, I believe in you. You can do this. Maybe listen to KCRW's The Business with Kim Masters. Comedian and Conan writer Lori Kilmartin just discussed Louis C.K. Dude, you need to hear that. Link in the show notes. Speaking of Joe Rogan, Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan. Did you hear that? Did you hear about that? I listened to all 2 hours and nearly 45 minutes of it. One of the most fascinating and intriguing almost 3 hours of my life. A wonderful example of why I love the long-form, audio-only, time for deep, in-depth observations that are the hallmark of the podcast. Look, I know. I initially streamed as video on YouTube. It did rather. Like Tom Lennon on the chat show with Kevin Pollak this past Sunday. I didn't watch it. I got shit to do. I listen. Earbuds in as I go about my day. Elon and Joe talked about AI, artificial intelligence. Elon shared his deep concerns about AI, that he expressed those deep concerns to several very powerful people in government and elsewhere, people who all seemed to react with a shrug and something like, wow, you're a really smart guy. Hey, can I get a seat on a SpaceX rocket? Joe and Elon discuss being Elon Musk. The ideas that pop like popcorn in his head, only all the time, that Elon can't really turn it off. And what that's like when he realized it at age 5. That he worried he'd be sent to an institution because he noticed he was different from everyone else when he was 5. Elon and Joe discuss space travel and the survival need to migrate the human species to other planets, making Star Trek, without mentioning the show, I'm actually wearing a Star Trek shirt today, something for the reals in real life. Terraforming Mars, a la the Genesis project in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, making Mars a tropical resort planet, the Caribbean, in space. I thought that would sound cool. I don't know. You decide. They discussed so much more, replacing 2D LA traffic with tunnels. Yeah, 3D traffic. Think about that for a second. He wants to do tunnels that go multiple levels down into the Earth. Worth is like Earth, but with more profit. Into the Earth. That's what Elon Musk wants to do with tunnels. He also talked about how the Earth is much like the ocean. That's a crazy concept to think about for a second. The physics that frustrate flying cars that won't completely piss off your neighbors. Tesla cars and their many Easter eggs. And what's next? And that keeping any car company afloat and not bankrupt is next to impossible to pull off. And that all the world really needs is love. And so much more. Stuff that really makes you think. Densely packed. 'Cause it's Elon Musk. But you wouldn't know any of that if you didn't watch or hear the actual podcast. Now, if you caught the news from, ABC, NBC, CBS, Wall Street Journal, and NPR, just to name a few, all they could talk about was the weed. The tobacco weed blunt Joe pulled out towards the end and handed to Elon, as if the thumbnail for a nearly 3-hour deep conversation was a toke. Now, Charlie Murphy, may he rest in peace, introduced the tobacco weed blunt to Joe Rogan. Dave Chappelle updated the experience for Joe. Did you know that? I didn't either, until Joe shared. And that's the point. When Elon Musk smoked the same blunt, Wall Street and the news lost their shit. Explain to me how that is not racist. Bear in mind, I love journalists. The real people who inspired All the President's Men, to Spotlight, to The Post. Hey, I was a student editor, expelled, and put on the FBI's subversive list. I subscribed to the LA Times and the New York Times, KPCC and KCRW, LA Public Radio, I'm soon to support. Hey, I listen not only to The Daily, but several other news podcasts on The Daily. I struggle with news the way alcoholics struggle with booze. But when I heard all of these news organizations I desperately want to respect reduce Elon Musk, Joe Rogan experience down to smoking weed, I gotta be honest. Fake news now seems credible. And that makes me sad. Sad like 9/11. Oh, too soon? Before you start waving your flag and calling me a terrorist and pinko commie, ask yourself this. What are you doing about all the first responders? First responders dying from asbestos, cancer, with all that nasty crap that was blowing around in the wind on Ground Zero. Did you know those deaths will soon exceed the number who died in the initial explosions? And the funding for healthcare of those dying, the slow, painful deaths of 9/11, it expires in 2 years. Did you know that? Are you registered to vote? Have you ever called your member of Congress? I met mine, Adam Schiff, at a bowling alley. Are you going to vote in the midterm elections in November? Maybe less flag waving and more healthcare, for all those patriots you call heroes? This is why I hate politics. Jesus, get off your damn soapbox, Mark. The Mark Roman Empire, also a podcast, is sponsored by Eladon Designs. Hey, there's got to be a better way to travel with your shoes. Now there is. The trademarked Ultimate Shoe Bag by Eladon Designs. Hey, travel your shoes easier. Up to 8 pairs at a time. Hey, many styles to choose from. To view the commercial and the demo video, go to eladondesigns.com. Oh, don't forget, save 10% when you use discount code ROMAN at checkout. eladondesigns.com. We're also sponsored by Vegas 90210, the characters of. From the signature Lieutenant Frank in women's short shorts and rainbow tactical leg warmers, to Hollywood Cap, the Captain America of the Hollywood Avengers, Ron Burgundy, Buddy the Elf, and Beetlejuice, available by special order. Recently, a California Highway Patrolman hired Lieutenant Frank to interact with guests at a CHP Lieutenant Promotion Luncheon at Bank of California Stadium at Echo Park. I put the I in improv. The missing ingredient at your upcoming event. Book a Vegas 90210 character for your event today at vegas90210.com. And last but not least, we are sponsored by Mark Roman Empire merch. My poem, Son of Elmer Gantry's Bitch, autographed. Lieutenant Frank citations, previously issued to Kelly Osbourne and David Spade, and 8,564 others and counting. And Lieutenant Frank headshots, also autographed. Tom Lennon posed with his. All groovy stuff that, when sold in sufficient quantities, allows me to create more free podcast for you. Buy my poem, citation, or headshot today at markromanempire.com. Click merch. The Mark Roman Empire, also a podcast, is sponsored by Eladon Designs. Hey, there's got to be a better way to travel with your shoes. Now there is. The trademarked Ultimate Shoe Bag by Eladon Designs. Hey, travel your shoes easier. Up to 8 pairs at a time. Hey, many styles to choose from. To view the commercial and the demo video, go to eladondesigns.com. Oh, don't forget, save 10% when you use discount code ROMAN at checkout. eladondesigns.com. We're also sponsored by Vegas 90210, the characters of. From the signature Lieutenant Frank in women's short shorts and rainbow tactical leg warmers, to Hollywood Cap, the Captain America of the Hollywood Avengers, Ron Burgundy, Buddy the Elf, and Beetlejuice, available by special order. Recently, a California Highway Patrolman hired Lieutenant Frank to interact with guests at a CHP Lieutenant Promotion Luncheon at Bank of California Stadium at Echo Park. I put the I in improv. The missing ingredient at your upcoming event. Book a Vegas 90210 character for your event today at vegas90210.com. And last but not least, we are sponsored by Mark Roman Empire merch. My poem, Son of Elmer Gantry's Bitch, autographed. Lieutenant Frank citations, previously issued to Kelly Osbourne and David Spade, and 8,564 others and counting. And Lieutenant Frank headshots, also autographed. Tom Lennon posed with his. All groovy stuff that, when sold in sufficient quantities, allows me to create more free podcast for you. Buy my poem, citation, or headshot today at markromanempire.com. Click merch. Book 'em, Dano.
Oh,
Shut up, Marilyn!
And now, let us not pray. Instead, a reading from the sacred scrolls. Son of Elmer Gantry's Bitch. Also, a poem by Mark Roman. Roman as in the empire. The most holy reading of verses 8 and 9 with refrain. Doctors without board certified want to medicate my personality away. Soma for the masses, if the theater of mass is not enough to assuage. The good citizens annoyed at the disease of my eyes that see. Why so stubborn? Why not get over it and assimilate like we? Why is merely being me an act of open revolution against the established fable? Why does imminent homelessness bring suicidal thoughts to the food stamp table? Mommy gave me religion and taught me to read. Dark and light. The force, indeed. See, scrolls, screens, and stages speak to me, indeed. So many died. Some lived that I might listen, watch, and read. But why did Mommy transmit that curious reading itch? Why me? Kimmy Schmidt, son of Elmer Gantry's bitch. So say we all. For an autographed copy of the complete poem, which we've now read in completion over 5 episodes, Son of Elmer Gantry's bitch, go to markromanempire.com and click merch. The week this week. All right, let's go to vegas90210.com, which I've been a little lax with post over there. I think the last one was in January, but I just posted another one. It's an oldie but goodie, actually from January. Went in and posted back then. Good question. But you can see it now. It's about Bill Burr. Yeah, that Bill Burr. He does this thing where he's like driving around for his all things comedy empire. And apparently he ran into my Lieutenant Frank. In fact, the thumbnail cover of the YouTube video, it's literally Bill in his car pointed to me as Lieutenant Frank, complete in my women's short shorts and rainbow tactical leg warmers. We got a link in the show notes for you kids. You definitely want to see that 2-minute video. And share with your friends. The Twitter. Been getting more active on the Twitter lately. Got some cool stuff this week. Let's see. We got the Last Tycoon petition. I was on the Last Tycoon. I played E.B. Wingate. I did not have any lines, but they kept pulling me back. So kind of hoping we can make that be a character with lines. The problem is they canceled the show. Yeah, shame on you, Amazon. Why'd you do that? No, we love Amazon. They're awesome. But we're hoping that somebody would pick up Last Tycoon. There's a signature online thing that you can do. It's already hit 2,000 signatures. They're now going for 3,000. So check for the link in the show notes for that. And help me out. Maybe we can, because my E.B. Wingate, he has high hopes. World Suicide Prevention Day. That was on Monday. I myself have actually experienced what the doctors call suicide ideation. And that's about as much effort as they put into actually fixing what's going on. They got a cool name for it. You know, what more would you expect? They got a cool name, all right? They're doctors. That's what they do, right? Anyway, I got a couple posts on that on the Twitter you might check out. Oh, yeah. Are you doing the dating apps, kids? Yeah, I know. I'm falling off the wagon for my 12-step program to remain a single guy, but sometimes they're amusing. So I actually captured a conversation. I guess you could title this under bored. Check it out. It's pretty funny. I laughed more than once. Let's see here. Oh, I also submitted a question to the chat show with Kevin Pollak. He had a guest named Tom Lennon. So, of course, I had a question I wanted them to ask. I don't think they actually asked it. But if you want to see the question, I'll have a link for that. And then hashtag Eddie Pepitone Tonight Show. Really hoping to get Eddie on the podcast here. But I responded to something he was doing on his podcast. And I kind of want to get the hashtag rolling here. Because, come on, let's be honest, all right? Jimmy had a good run, but hey, they got taco night at the home. And let's be honest, that's what Jimmy Fallon, could groove for. So, it's, everybody's a winner here, all right? Hashtag Eddie Pepitone Tonight Show. More details on that from the Twitter post in the link on the show notes. And lastly, over on the Instagram, for those of you who like reading pictures, I do too. I get it. I understand. That's cool. Hey, what's not to like? Hey, do I look like this sheriff on The Walking Dead? Don't answer that. Well, I don't know. I guess I kind of invited you because there's a Instagram post where you can kind of compare and contrast. I invite you to capture this. So, knock yourself out. Got a link for that in the show notes. Lieutenant Frank spreading the news with a number 7 Colin Kaepernick fan at the Chargers tailgate this weekend. That was awesome. Definitely want to take a peek at that. Hashtag just do it. I need to get a new pair of Nikes. I really do. Lieutenant Frank paying officer down respects to Burt Reynolds at his star on the Walk of Fame. That's definitely one you want to see. A lot of photos of that one. And that's for those of you who are familiar with Lieutenant Frank, a running thing he does when we lose folks in the celebrity constellation that Lieutenant Frank likes. He typically goes and pays respects as there was an officer down in the worldview of Lieutenant Frank. That's it on the week, folks. Hope you liked it. And now, as I mentioned in the Corey Robinson podcast, according to CBS Evening News, 20th of August, the average Catholic gives $10 a week to the church, which suggests that Americans lack imagination. Pope, let me help you help us protect our kids from your creepy clan of carnal relations with kids, clergy.
But if I don't give my $10 to the Catholic Church, what do I do with it?
Here's an idea. Go get yourself an Obeid 2036 t-shirt like I did last night at sammyko.com. You're probably going to have to pay shipping now, but you should. And seriously, you should probably be paying $20. It's a cool t-shirt. But hey, 10 gets you towards whatever it is. Go get it. Here's another thought. Why don't you spend that $10 on a ticket to the Taylor Vaughn album release party at the Rockwell? Yes, the very same Rockwell where our good friend, I don't know him personally, but Jeff Goldblum. And as it turns out, apparently I now know someone who worked for him. So I don't know. It's getting more incestuous here in Hollywood, and I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, you can see Taylor Vaughn's album release party at that very same Rockwell where Jeff Goldblum and the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra perform. You see Taylor Vaughn on the 14th of October. I just got my ticket last night. She's a brand new music artist. You definitely want to hear her. I'm looking forward to it. And those tickets are only $10. What else to do with that $10 that you are going to give to the Catholic Church? Why don't you go get a gift card to a grocery store? Yeah, for food, for the hungry. Okay? Yeah, you don't have to be religious to help hungry people, all right? Just go get them a gift card from a grocery store. Spend $10. Don't give it to the Catholic Church. You could also take your $10 and get a gift card to a clothing store for shoes, socks, and for more, for folks who can't even afford shower slippers, all right? And there's a lot of them. Lastly, here's a thought, what to do with that $10. Why don't you donate it to the LA Tenants Union? You can go to latenantsunion.org for all the info. Why? Well, landlords are still, to this very moment, creating more homelessness. And fun fact, the Catholic Church is one of the largest property owners on the planet. And remember, I am not now, nor have I ever been, a priest. Except that one time on Adam Ruins Everything, where on the same episode, I was also one of the Whiteman brothers, receiving an award for the Rosa Parks story, because I'm one of the Whiteman brothers. Yeah. These are a few of my favorite things. Oh my God, that's like so LA. That was like the question mark at the end of the Valley Girl thing. Football tailgates, kids. That's one of my favorite things to do in LA. You got your college, USC at the LA Coliseum, UCLA at the iconic Rose Bowl in Pasadena. You got your NFL games. It was just at the Chargers and StubHub Coliseum in Carson over the weekend. You also got the LA Rams also at the LA Coliseum. They got a new Coliseum they're building that'll come out, I don't know, a couple years, I guess. Lieutenant Frank is definitely part of the tailgate experience here in Los Angeles. I never thought I'd be saying that, but it's kind of fun to come back and experience the hospitality of tailgaters who remember my Lieutenant Frank from last year. There was that Raider preseason game, which was crazy. Wow. To be walking down an aisle full of tailgaters, a lot of them Raiders fans, and they're just like going nuts because they've never seen Lieutenant Frank before. That was an experience. And ironically enough, that was not the game where my banana, the banana of Lieutenant Frank, was assaulted by a tailgater. Yeah, I don't recommend that, but it did happen. And oddly enough, it was not at the Raiders game. Fun story. Okay, so there was a guy who flipped me off because Lieutenant Frank said something snarky to him, as he does, shower slippers, cargo shorts, pride, who knows what it was, okay? The guy just flips off Lieutenant Frank. Barely minutes later, the same guy who flipped off Lieutenant Frank is in front of me apologizing profusely because apparently his best buddy is one of the regulars who loves me. And so that was kind of an interesting experience. And then not only did he apologize profusely, but he got a photo with Lieutenant Frank, and he tipped me kind of nicely too. So I don't know, it was kind of cool. And of course, it's because of the tailgates that Lieutenant Frank got hired for that California Highway Patrol Lieutenant promotion luncheon. So I'll grant you, okay, these tailgates are my favorite thing because of the Lieutenant Frank experience. But you don't have to be Lieutenant Frank to enjoy this, all right? They're a fun thing. If you live in LA, it's a very LA thing to do. A lot of good things to eat, a lot of fun things to drink, a strong sense of community, a lot of different people coming together. If you haven't, it's a cool thing to do. And hey, there's a football game afterwards too. Who knew? So where can you guys see me next? I know you're dying to know. Well, Lieutenant Frank has been known to make some cameos on Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, not just when, someone dies and we need to do an Officer Down tribute at a star, but there's other occasions as well. So, stay tuned. Definitely you will see Lieutenant Frank at the upcoming football tailgates. When this podcast drops, coming up that weekend will be on the 21st, USC Trojans versus the Washington State Cougars. And then on the 23rd, Rams versus Chargers. That's some definite hometown versus hometown rivalry. Look forward to that. Also, Hollywood Cap on Hollywood Boulevard with the Hollywood Avengers, which includes Hollywood Iron Man and Hollywood Wolverine. So if you know anyone who's vacationing in LA, make sure they check that out and get cool photos with us. Let's see here. Did you know I'm on the Podbean now? Yeah, you can check out Mark Roman Empire on Podbean as well as on YouTube and Stitcher. On SoundCloud, you want to look up Mark Roman Podcast. And if you have questions about any of that, or if you want the latest as it changes and it expands and evolves, MarkRomanEmpire.com has all the links plus some new stuff. Now, my guest today for the interview, comedian, mathematician, and 2036 presidential candidate, Sammy Obeid. Yeah, I've been trying to get Sammy on for a while. He's been busy. Yeah, like Corey Robinson from episode 2, I met Sammy up in the San Francisco Bay Area, probably also at Tommy T's. We'll look into that. Now, Sammy has been my go-to guy for several iterations of live events I've attempted over the years. I love this guy almost as much as he and I love hummus. Hey, let's check in with Sammy. Sammy Obeid.
Hey there.
How you doing, brother?
Fantastic.
It's been like forever. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been quite a while, right? Maybe about a year and a half.
Something like that. Definitely months. Well, I have this bad habit of every time I have a bright idea of some live thing that lasts, for an eternity of one, maybe two.
Yeah, what was it?
And since I love inviting you, I know I've done one once or twice up in the Bay.
I've done all of your one-night stands.
Yeah. Copy that. Copy. And here when we still can talk. So, I think that gives hope to the kids out there, right?
This is the first time I'm on your 5th of anything.
Copy that. It is. This is Mambo number 5.
Yeah.
And we forgot the hummus,
Oh.
which feels odd because I'm the only guy not from the Middle East in this room right now.
Well, that's 2-to-1 ratio.
There you go.
Same as chickpeas to tahini.
See? I
Yeah.
like what you did there.
Yeah.
You're a mathematician.
I'm all about those numbers, baby.
Yes, you are. Absolutely. Now, I'm trying to remember. I did this too with Corey Robinson, who was our first comedic guest.
Yeah.
And we established that he and I met at Tommy T's in Pleasanton up in the...
Who didn't?
Copy that. So I'm figuring that's
didn't
where
meet-
we did. It wasn't in the city.
If you were doing comedy in the 2000s in the East Bay, you met at Tommy T's.
Copy
Okay.
that. Copy that. So here we are. And in that span of time, I've done my thing. You've done your thing. Now, you're in the Guinness Book of World Records, I understand. Is this,
No,
this
this
a
is not-
rumor
That's a rumor. It's
That's a
complete rumor that I don't correct.
that you don't correct?
I don't correct unless it's on record. Because we're on record, I'm correcting it. It's a rumor.
It's kind of record. It's a podcast. So,
Yeah,
you know.
well, yeah. Depends on who's listening.
I know. Well, if it's like the Joe Rogan, Elon Musk thing last week, you know, the fact that we talked about Halloween candy, the thumbnail of this one will be that we all ate Halloween candy,
Well, I'll take it.
you know. So, is it true, though?
That
Yeah.
I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records.
We already established you're not.
No.
But you're
It's
not
not
going to
true.
correct people who believe you are.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
And they're led to believe this because...
Because people like to say, "Well, that's a world record. You're a Guinness World Record holder."
But the record was for what? What did you do to Sammy?
I
What
did.
did you do, Sammy?
I did stand up 1,001 days in a row.
What?
Yeah, you already knew that. Don't act surprised.
I did know that. But what I didn't realize is because I'm not a mathematician.
Yeah.
And you are, right, Sammy?
Yeah, you don't know how to count to 1,001.
Well, I realized that includes like more than 1 year.
It does. It does, unless you live really long years. But you're Mark, so you live under the Roman calendar. Am I right, guys? What's up? Young Records, shout out.
Copy that.
All right.
I like this. See, this is why we had to have you here in part of the, the initial building blocks of the Mark
course.
Roman Empire.
Have me every 5th show. I'll be on the 10th, the 15th, the 20th, the 25th.
I might have to take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
We'll have to bump a few people. They won't
Yeah.
mind.
Oh,
So
who cares?
1,001 night. What's that? I can't even wrap my brain around that.
Well, what do you want to do?
Although it is what
Your brain doesn't melt, does it?
I don't know. Again, I'm no mathematician.
Well, I mean, theoretically, we could unravel your brain. It's a bunch of synapses. We could unravel it around 1,001 nights.
I feel like I'm talking to my son right now.
Do you have a son?
I do.
Congratulations.
He just turned 20. It's crazy.
Well, congratulations to him. Then.
I know, right? Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, he's trying to be a chemistry professor.
Okay,
Yeah, going to school back east. So
good.
we
That's-
have these weird conversations. 10 years ago, he was talking to me about little, things you implant in your brain and that replaces your cell phone. I'm like, that's weird. He's like, no,
Yeah.
that's just the future, Dad.
You
So,
have one son, right?
that I know of. That I know of.
Well, just like
you
Mark,
know how it is, Sammy.
just like Mark to do one of something and then never do it again.
I would never do that. I would never do that. So 1,001 nights. I
Yeah.
mean, it. On the one hand, it's actually what anyone who becomes a working comic who actually gets booked for cool spots and paid gigs. That is really what you have to do. You have to be performing on stage like every night of the week.
You have to do
anyways.
1,001 nights. That's when you get good.
There
That's
you
my
go.
theory.
There you go. But these were not just any kind of nights. Am I correct? Or what kind of nights are we talking about here? 'Cause there's a lot
Summer
of different ways
nights,
to do
winter
comedy.
nights. Some were longer than the others, depending on the season.
Okay. Copy that.
The winter nights were a little bit longer.
I see what you
And
did there.
I started in the winter, so technically it was 1,001 long nights.
Okay.
Yeah. These weren't no short summer nights.
This is not a family podcast. This is marked explicit, but
Okay.
just
Well, it was a fucking long time, Mark. I'll tell you
okay.
that much.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I know. My son says gosh and darn to me, and I'm like, are you really me?
Wait till he's 21. Just wait.
There we go.
That's
That's
when
how
they
many
start
days,
coming out.
mathematician?
21 years?
Days. No. a
21
year.
days is 3 weeks.
How many days in a year?
How many days in a year?
Yeah.
Well, 365, 366, depending on how Roman you are.
I'm very Roman. I am the Mark Roman.
Okay, once every 4 years, you're even more Roman than you are
I like that.
by about a day.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
In ancient Rome, what would you have been?
I probably would have been an advisor to the people who are, planning the city.
Okay, so you'd be like a consultant to the city planners.
Yeah,
the
like
city
put
engineers.
that duct over here.
Okay.
That statue shouldn't be over there.
I think that's the name of your next comedy album.
Why?
Put that duct over there.
Put that duct over there. That's actually a bit that I have. It's completely unrelated to this, but
Is it?
it's a bit that I have. Yeah, it should be called Put
Well,
That.
since you brought it up, can we hear that bit right now?
Well, it's a bit that I started the idea a couple years ago, but I've been bringing it back. The idea is basically that, and this is very topical right now. We got hurricanes going on in the southeast.
We do. It's all
right?
we're talking about on the news today.
Hurricanes and constant floods. If you look at the East Coast and the Southeast, especially, you got constant floods. Meanwhile, California, we're in a 10, 20-year drought. Why is that fair that they get all that water? We don't get it. We got to share the water.
That's a fair
right?
point, Sammy.
So we got to build a duct. Forget building a wall. We got to build a duct that takes the water from the Southeast, brings it over here to the Southwest. That's going to be good for agriculture, right? And people say, well, Sammy, you could build a duct from east to west. It's going to go up mountains. Like, you idiot. You don't think I did the research? Okay. Altitude of Houston, 80 feet, right? Altitude of San Diego, 60 feet. You got a 20-foot slope to work with over the course of a couple thousand miles.
Do the math, kids.
It's gravity, okay? It's pure gravity. We're going to build a duct. Mexico's going to pay for it. I'm just kidding. We're going to put it across. We're going to put it along the border, right? Forget a wall. We're going to have a duct. Okay.
Sammy, hold on here.
Yeah.
You're a comedian. You're a mathematician.
Yes.
But I kind of feel like right now you're campaigning for something.
I'm campaigning for my presidency in 2036. I'm more than just a Roman city planner. Yeah.
You're running for president?
In 2036.
I have a presidential candidate on my Mambo Number 5 podcast. This is awesome.
I announced my candidacy on Twitter in 2016. It's a 20-year campaign. It's the longest running presidential campaign in the history of the world.
Now,
Mark.
why isn't that in the Guinness Book of World Records?
Well, it's another the record that I can't
Campaign
afford.
platform plank.
Yeah, the reason I didn't get the first one of the Guinness is because I couldn't afford it. They were going to charge me $200,000. The reason I'm not going to put this one in.
$200,000? Wait.
Yeah.
You set a world record, but you have to pay.
They
It sounds like
asked
getting
me-
a star on the Walk of Fame.
Well, they asked me to pay them so they could have a guy come out and appraise the whole thing. I couldn't afford it. And I'll tell you what, I can only imagine what they would charge for a 20-year campaign. That's why I'm not going to pay the Guinness Book of World Records.
So
Yeah.
up again, the whole Guinness appraisal guy. So if you're doing 1,001 nights of comedy, like how
Yeah.
does he like camping out with you for the entire?
I would
3
have
years?
to provide him a hotel and pay Guinness
No
$200,000. Yeah,
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's insane.
it is insane.
Wow. Okay, and that's why you're not in the Guinness.
That's why I'm not in the
Okay.
Guinness Book, and I'm boycotting the Guinness Book. Actually,
Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough. Is that also part of your campaign?
yeah,
Retribution to the evil bastards over at the Guinness,
yeah.
not the beverage. the
I
book?
actually should email the beverage company
You should
and be like, hey, do you guys have a monthly magazine you put out? Can you put my picture in it? So be like, yep, I'm in the Guinness Book.
All right, for all 20 of you, okay, maybe 19 that are listening to the podcast right now. All
Yeah.
right, maybe you know someone. You might have read Hollywood if you don't actually live in Hollywood. So you might know someone. Get the word out. We got to help Sammy out here with the folks over at Guinness.
Let me know. Let me know what you can do.
How do we get a hold of you? You got a website, I've heard.
SammyKO.com.
I was actually on it last night.
Good.
I
Good.
ordered your shirt. I have an Obeid.
Did you ordered one?
I ordered it.
Fantastic.
But you got like a third party thing because I sent a little message, just said, hey, just bring a shirt tomorrow, man. You know?
Yeah, I
Like,
could have done that. I
like
mean,
the-
I have a guy who is handling the sales, so I'm going
like
to make
it.
sure he got it.
you got a great price on. I mean, the t-shirts normally go for like $20 if you're getting a really good deal. You go to get like a band t-shirt, those will be like $30 or more.
Yeah, what am I selling it for?
$9.95.
Fantastic.
Maybe $9.99.
That's like business error, but
And
it's
that's
definitely
that's
works.
including shipping. And then even bother to ask.
That's a mistake.
You know?
That is a mistake. That is a critical error that needs to be
I
fixed.
got my shirt.
Please do not go buy those shirts. I will run out of money tomorrow.
Just saying, well, fortunately, this is not going to air for a few days.
Good. You're
so-
one of the last ones to buy it. Then.
So
That's good.
I got in under the wire.
Fantastic.
Under the wire. It's kind of your way of saying thank you, Mark, for all those one night stands.
I guess so, huh?
So tell us about this this presidential campaign. This is very intriguing because we had a comic in the past that some podcast listeners might have heard of, Stephen Colbert, and I believe he did this.
Mhm.
So are there any parallels? or
Ran
different-
for president.
Yeah, didn't he?
I mean, he could have. I mean, I'm sure there's people who wrote him in on the ballot.
It's an interesting point.
People wrote me in on the ballot in 2016. I had actually about
Did they?
20 or so people who voted for me in 2016.
Nice.
Yeah, can you imagine if that doubles year over year? I will be president in 2036.
Now, can we vote for you in the midterms?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the power of freedom, is you can really vote for whoever you want.
But can we vote for you for president in the midterms?
You can try, see what happens.
Okay.
Maybe if there's enough, they'll do a recall or something.
Okay. It'll be the hummus vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love hummus. Who doesn't love hummus? Someone who does not love hummus, I personally think is a terrorist. Because hummus is delicious.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple people who haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
First time for everything.
Yeah.
And we all know, I know that, right?
Yeah. You only know that, I guess. Yeah.
So speaking of your platform,
Yeah.
I heard something about tax reform. Do you have a tax reform plan?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it easy or make a way for people to be able to have a choice in what taxes they pay.
Okay.
The
Sounds cool. Choice is good.
The bit of mine is everybody chooses their own tax rate. Who knows if that's a dream.
Whoa,
But we can do a modified.
You choose your own rate?
Choose your own tax rate. Like, hey, I want to pay 5%, and these are the services that I get in return.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Why that may not be possible or it may not be feasible, to do in a presidential term, there could be a way where people at least have a choice over at least a couple percentage points of their taxes.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
But you link it with the services.
It's a start, yeah.
So if you say zero,
yeah,
that's cool, but you're getting nothing from the government.
Yeah, and if you can find if I give you an option to reduce your taxes by a couple of percentage points in exchange for something you don't get, I think people would pay for that or not pay for that.
I'm no mathematician, but I'm going to go with you on that.
You should.
I will.
Yeah.
I love it. Obeid 2036.
Obeid 2036. Choose your own tax rate. Choose your own tax rate exclusively. I put the exclusively on there, so it just feels like it's between me and you. Choose your own tax rate exclusively. That's why the acronym is Coyote.
Okay.
Yep.
It's like you're at Chipotle making a burrito for them.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Choose
that kind of personal.
Choose your own tax rate exclusively, and then we're gonna build a duct.
A duck.
A duct.
Duct. Not a duck.
We're gonna build a duct.
Okay.
Along the southern border.
Just thinking if you built a duck, we'd use that to, give it to the Canadians, but secretly we're trying to invade Canada. I think the current administration actually has a working, feasible plan to do exactly
invade
that.
Canada?
With a duck, a fake duck.
It's possible.
With a Trojan duck.
Okay.
Yeah. Sources, anonymous source, Bob Woodward told me that he can't, but he knows them, so it's good.
Bob what?
Woodward.
What a quack.
He's a guy, so I can cite him, so it makes it valid, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything else we should know about your presidential campaign?
A lot of people think it's a joke, but they're going to be
people are already voting for you.
Jokes on them, yeah. The joke's on them because wait till we get closer to 2036, it'll start to make sense.
So we've got time. Is what you're saying.
You got time. You got a lot of time. I got a lot of time.
And then we can vote for you, several times.
Several times in the meantime. Yeah, why not?
And it's
Flex
encouraged.
that voting skill. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Hey, if you want the muscle to
There's
work.
going to be some kind of prize if you vote for me every year until 2036.
There'll be a prize?
There should be.
There should be.
Yeah.
Okay. Aren't there election laws that
I'm not saying
frown upon that?
I'm not saying there will be a prize. I'm saying there should be a prize. Wink, wink.
I see
there
what
should
you
be a prize.
did there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I understand. Yeah. It's about politics is about the world of the real, what you actually get done.
Yep.
All right. Now, I saw something. Were you assaulted while performing?
Yeah.
What
wow.
the fuck is that all about?
Geez, way to bring that up, huh?
Sorry, like TMZ.
Is this? Do you do this to all your guests?
I ambush you. Yes. I
so we hear back in college you were assaulted. Wow, that's geez, that is dark. Well,
it's on your website.
I was, yes, of course. So if you're an assault victim, you need to put it on your website.
True.
I was a victim of assault in 2017 while performing my job. Stand-up comedy. I was assaulted by an audience member.
So you were in a club.
At a holiday party. No, it was at a holiday party for a corporate gig.
Ooh.
Yeah. Was assaulted by an
magical
employee.
Corporate gigs.
Yes.
Filled with all kinds of really good, upright citizens who obey the law. And that's where you were assaulted.
Yep.
Damn. So what'd you say to your booker?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I told her about it. I wasn't mad at her. It wasn't her fault.
Well, she didn't do it. Yeah.
No, she didn't do it, and I got paid. I would have got paid. I would have taken half as much what I got paid for that assault. It was a good payday.
So you got paid, and you got paid.
I got paid, and I got beat the shit out of. No, I got paid, and I got assaulted. I got paid to be assaulted.
Were attorneys involved?
No, I mean,
Okay.
you know, there's a whole line of I could have's and I should have's and I didn't, but I don't really care. I don't really care. It was more just about letting it go.
Which is why you posted it on your website.
Yeah, and I got I got a lot of love from that. So what I mean, what
let
is
it
it?
go.
What matters if you don't get
very
respect from your
zen.
Facebook fans? You know?
Letting it go.
Yeah.
Letting it go. Actually, you're a Buddhist, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I practiced a lot of the Buddhist practices, and that's about as far as
What
it
does that
goes.
mean?
It means I meditate. I practice non-attachment, non-judgment.
Okay.
I see the world.
That sounds good.
From a Buddhist, I see the world. I have eyes.
You do.
Yeah.
I'm looking in your eyes right now.
Yeah.
They're definitely very eyeful.
Eyeful. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Again, I'm no mathematician.
No.
So you can see stuff, you meditate,
Yeah.
you let go.
Yeah. I mean, if you learn about Buddhism, it's just an ideology. It's a practice. It's a way of viewing the world and believing, things are. And I largely adopt that worldview, although I'm not rigidly, assigned to any particular worldview.
Gotcha. So is there any deity involved with Buddhism? Because I'm not that familiar.
Not technically, no. I mean, I think most Buddhists would say no to that question, although many people, they worship the Buddha himself,
Okay.
Who's seen as the deity of that religion, if there is any. But some other sects of Buddhism worship certain leaders, like the Dalai Lama or some of the previous leaders who've passed away. It really just depends on your crew.
Your crew,
Yeah.
where you're from,
Where you're from. Yeah.
your hood, your colors,
It's what Buddhism is about. It's about local pride.
about local colors.
Yeah.
I like it.
Orange.
I like it a lot. Orange,
Orange. Yeah.
that's your color?
Well, most Buddhist monks, they wear the orange.
They do.
Yeah.
It's kind of too bad now because when you say orange, most people don't immediately think of Buddhist monks. They should, though. I feel like the world might be a slightly better place.
Maybe.
Maybe. Perhaps.
Maybe.
Okay. So we mentioned hummus.
Okay. We run out of things to talk about.
We're not at all. We're not at all. I thought the segue from peaceful Buddhism might be ideal to a hummus fight.
Okay. Hummus Fight. So we're just going over my main YouTube videos is what we're doing. So
Possibly.
what exactly are you asking? What do you want to know?
What is it?
What is what? The Hummus
So I
Fight?
think I did see that video, but it's been a while.
Okay. So you didn't do your homework. So basically, you
I've
you
done
looked at
my
captions.
homework, but it was spread out over time because it's like your campaign for president.
Sure.
I want to give it a chance to breathe like a fine wine.
Right. Well,
Because wine goes well with hummus.
yeah, sure. I guess it does.
Can.
I mean, it can. There was a hummus fight. There was a video that me and my roommate shot.
Are you guys still roommates?
No, he moved out with his girlfriend. So
Mm,
there's that.
that happens.
Yeah.
What about your girlfriend?
What about her?
Well, since you brought up the subject of girlfriends, I thought.
What do you
just-
know? What did you look
yeah.
up about me with my girlfriend?
I honestly didn't. It's not even on my notes. So just here we are.
So you're just assuming that I have a girlfriend?
That's a fair question.
That's kind
Actually,
of
it's more
not
of a
fair just to
statement,
assume that just because I'm a good-looking guy with a great personality that I must have a girlfriend. I could be severely
I'm not sure
damaged.
I said that, but now that you said it, we'll go with it.
Listen, I get this all the time.
You do?
People, they see, wow, you're such a great eligible bachelor. You must be married. You must have a girlfriend. Like, that's none of your goddamn business.
Good for you, Sammy.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Relationships are the thing that I think people should keep the most secretive.
The most secretive.
People
and
are
why?
like that about political views. That's how I am about relationships.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you're pretty out front about your political views. Because
Yes.
you're literally running for president.
Yes.
But as to whether I mean, I noticed you did take advantage of our all-gender bathroom here at Young Records.
All four of the all-gender bathroom.
Okay.
Political views, I'm an open book.
I mean, not that has anything to do with who you may or may not be dating, but I just,
Right.
you know, it just reminded me that, you know, you seem to be okay with that. So
I think it's just rude to a person, because what if they're trying to keep their options open, you know? What if they are in a relationship, but they
Right.
want to mingle, you know? Now you've just ruined it for them.
because how did I ruin it for them? You mean by like locking them into that relationship and defining?
Yeah,
them,
well,
or-
now if their significant other's listening, now they have to be like,
They might be
she's
one of the
great.
19 listeners.
She's the greatest person in the world. Wow, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Thank you. You know, when really it could not have come up at all. The girlfriend would have listened to it, wouldn't have had a problem with it because there was
Gotcha.
no mention.
Gotcha.
And then the person who wants to fuck this person would have had no problem. They didn't know they have a girlfriend. But now I'm kind of in a pickle.
Theoretically.
Now I have to be like, yes, my
Theoretically.
girlfriend's great and who wants to fuck. That's a conflict of interest, Mark.
Theoretically.
Yes.
You're talking about a friend.
And when I say who
here.
wants to fuck, I'm talking to my girlfriend. Because that's all that matters. But really, who wants to fuck? But who? Okay.
Okay. Well, it's nice to know that
I'll fuck all of your 19 listeners, Mark. I don't even know. Without faces, I'll take all 19 because 19 is a manageable number. If you had 100 listeners, I'd be like, there's some sketchies in there, but 19 I can fuck. Even
I've heard of comics fucking members of their audience,
Yeah.
but you're fucking members of your buddy's audience. I like this.
hey,
You know?
yeah,
Spread the seed to wherever the field might be. you know?
that's what I'm talking about.
I love it. I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. So Sammy might be, available for mingling with new people.
I might
after
not.
this
It's really
podcast,
none of your. It's none of your fucking business.
And I like that about
Yeah.
you, Sammy.
Yeah.
Appreciate. I'm glad that we covered that. And that's pretty much all we need to know about the Hummus Fight.
Cool. Look
Right.
it up. Look it up. Watch my video, Hummus Fight.
We'll do that again.
Yeah.
Again. Now, we mentioned that you're a mathematician. You actually not were just a mathematician, but you also taught math, didn't you?
I taught math
Okay.
for maybe 6 years.
You're a hero. You're one of these people actually just doing the hard work out
That's
there.
correct.
That's a tough job.
Yes, it's a very tough. That's why I don't teach anymore, because it was too tough. I'm one of the ones who left it.
Namaste.
Yeah.
I respect your beliefs.
So how much of a hero I am? But I still teach it in my comedy act.
You did a 6-year tour.
I
okay?
did a 6-year
All
tour.
right. A lot of people only do 4. You did 6. So
Yeah.
you kind of overachieved there, Sammy.
Well, maybe
Some-
I did.
Some might say.
Some should say.
That's something I think you should put on the dating profile because clearly you're going to be using that app.
Assuming that I am available, which I may or may not be.
I'm trying to help you out, Sammy, for your friend. This is for your friend we're talking
Right,
about.
friend.
Yeah.
Friend of a friend.
Your friend. So what age kids were you teaching?
I taught ages 8 to 18. Taught a lot of different grades.
Oh shit. Okay. So you're all over the map. That's grade school, middle school.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, when was it called middle school or was it called intermediate?
Middle school or junior high.
Junior high.
Yeah.
See, for me, it was junior high. Technically, it said intermediate on the sign outside that people
Technically, yeah.
defaced and did stuff behind and whatnot.
Right.
So, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, are you one of those millennials?
One of those? Which ones?
The ones that, if I don't know what to do with my phone, I can, go, hey, kid, come over here.
And I throw it in the lake. Be like, figure it out, old man.
Well, that's an option. I'm not saying that's the superior option, but,
Yes,
you could
I
do it.
am a millennial.
Okay, all right.
I'm one of the oldest millennials. I'm an original millennial,
Okay.
an OM, an OM.
An original millennial.
Yes.
Okay, you got to explain that to me because I don't.
Well, the
To
first
me, you all look the same, you millennials. So.
they say the millennials start roughly. I mean, it's different. People say it's different, but it's the
Yeah.
early 80s. But some people will say it's 83, 84.
83,
They're the
84.
first millennials, and that's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel on it? I feel fucking great,
Okay.
because that means millennials include all the way up through the early 2000s. So someone born in 2001 is a millennial, right?
Okay.
That's a 17-year-old. I'm in
Okay.
the same age group as a 17-year-old. I'm going to be young for a fucking while.
Or a 20-year-old like my son. My son is technically a millennial.
Yeah.
And he says gosh and darn.
Yeah. And millennials are going to be basically running the shit for about the next 20, 30 years.
Okay.
That's why my presidential candidacy is golden. You don't
I
think
like
I thought
this.
about this shit?
Clearly you are a
Yeah.
mathematician.
And and on 2036, I'm still going to have my options open. They're not going to know if I'm married or not.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Because, Camp David is a big place. And,
Camp David's a big place. There's a lot of people walking around Camp David.
It's a lot of trees. There's a lot of nooks and crannies.
Right. If
There's
I'm
a lot
gonna
of
be
rooms
making
in
a
the
deal,
buildings.
I'm gonna be sealing the deal. If you know what I mean.
Sealing the deal
Yeah.
with an executive seal. Because yours will be the executive seal. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now we come to the difficult part of the podcast.
Oh God, I thought that was already over.
Because listeners of the podcast, all 4 episodes that I've had so far, know that I loathe reality TV.
Uh-huh.
That said, some of my favorite comics have had experience and some positive, slightly helpful, useful experience with reality TV, specifically competition shows, specifically Last Comic Standing.
Uh-huh.
And to the casual observer of your IMDb, you participated in that. Is this true?
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes. I
So
can
tell us a little bit about
confirm
that.
again.
All right. All right.
Again,
See, I'm trying
your-
to sort through
your
my hate
research-
for reality
Your
TV.
research has proven accurate once again, Mark. You happy? I was on Last Comic Standing.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. You don't have to be defensive about it. I mean, it can help folks sometimes,
It did. It helped me.
Yeah.
It really helped me burn my career to the ground.
Did
I
it?
just
Really?
kidding. I just kidding. It helped me. Look,
I know. That's what I wanted to hear. I
TV.
know,
It
I
was
know.
a TV credit. It was a TV credit.
It is.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that,
Nothing wrong with a little TV
like-
credit.
It's like getting a gig on a game show. It's like they pay bank. All right. Just respect. Don't
Well,
be
this one
jealous
didn't-
because you didn't get it type
This
thing.
one
you know?
didn't really pay that much, but that's whatever.
Well, it's not a game show. See.
Well, it definitely was a mental game. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it was. Well, tell me about that because I have never been on one. So I'm like, take me to school here, mathematician.
Well, Last Comic Standing. It's a reality show where comedians compete to win a televised contest,
Okay. Which suggests
there's going to be some winners and there's going to be people going home crying.
right? Were you a crier, Sammy?
Yeah, of course I cried.
Although you were in one that was like a judge's pick, I noticed. So you didn't cry too much.
I don't know
apparently.
what that means. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Well, apparently the judges liked you,
Well, I made it to the second round.
which maybe is a way of the judges saying, we're not going to vote for you, but we like you, so we got to throw you something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the judges, by the second round, the judges liked me, but it's these shows aren't.
It's a political thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not picked by the judges exclusively. At least we know the producers have casting, but
It's kind of an elaborate game. They're just trying to draw this along.
yeah,
It's like you go to any like comedy club, like you got your weakest act at the very beginning, and ideally you kind of work your way up to the strongest act. At least that's the theory.
mm-hmm.
So I imagine if you've got this competition show, the whole point is to get viewers.
Mm-hmm.
They got to kind of artificially manufacture this based on their perception of talent and
Mhm.
who's good, who's not. Hype any conflict.
I should be asking you about the show, Mark. It sounds like you have.
I don't know. I'm
You
asking.
just-
I'm asking.
You just act clueless 2 minutes ago, and you just laid down the fundamental philosophy of Last Comic Standing in 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's why I said this was going to be the difficult part of the podcast.
Well, it was difficult for you, I guess. It was easy for me. Didn't really have to say much there.
Well, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me
No, you're not.
you're full of
I mean,
shit, Mark. What's
I mean, it's
you made it work for you though.
the Last Comic Standing.
Yeah.
No, for me it was every experience that I have I learn a lot from it.
Right.
I'm not one of those people who just gets angry at things that didn't work out for me. I learned
You're a
something
Buddhist.
from it. I'm a Buddhist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see the world. Period. I see the world.
Because I've heard of seekers, but you're a seer.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the right.
No,
words
that's
here,
good.
so.
I like it. Wordplay is good.
I'm not a Buddhist. I don't know what to do with my hands. So
I'm not a Buddhist. I just see a lot of things.
okay, you have Buddhist ways.
Sure. Ways. It's an app that you get from one place to the other.
I've never used
I have
that
Buddhist
app.
ways. It's
Do you use
yeah,
Waze?
It's just you don't use a car. You just you walk.
Really?
Yeah.
You walk.
Buddhist ways.
That's the Buddhist ways.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's really not an app. It's kind of like an anti-app.
Sure.
It's like when you look for the app on the App Store, it says drop your phone and all your worldly possessions and find your path.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like it. I would get that.
Is that an app?
Are you asking me because I'm a millennial?
No, we already hated on the millennials earlier, but I can hate more on the millennials.
I didn't feel any hate earlier, actually.
It's more of a mildly jealous, like you've got more years of life and fresher brain cells than I do, so I have to somehow justify that my old lethargy is somehow superior.
How old are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Ish.
So I'm guessing 42?
I will go with that.
Okay.
I will go with that.
You're older than 42?
Yeah. I am.
48?
Not yet.
47?
Not yet.
46?
Hold on.
45?
All right, if you're born in mathematician, if you're born in November of 1971, how old does that make you?
So you don't even know how old you are. That's
I thought we established that I'm not a mathematician.
Okay.
I brought you on here, Sammy.
Okay.
You
You're
had
46.
one job.
You're
Okay.
46.
I am?
Yeah.
Okay. And then November,
You'll be 47.
I might have to, when November rolls around.
Call me. Ask me how old you are.
Okay. I know how to text. I'll text you.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. But I might have to call you too.
Either.
Do you use
works.
FaceTime much?
No. Thank God,
Really?
no.
Why?
I don't need that in my life.
What does that even mean?
I don't need to see you.
Okay.
If we're going to talk.
Well,
It's
we're
invasive.
talking right now. You see me,
Phone-
I see you.
Phone calls are invasive enough.
I mean, you
already.
drove halfway down this entire length of the state of California.
I was
just
on
for
my.
this
I'm on my
podcast.
way home, Mark.
Okay, well, that's another way of putting it, I suppose. But I mean, you know, you're like,
I wouldn't have stopped by here. My home was in the other direction.
if I say, yeah, I get this thing in Tijuana, you know,
I wouldn't even have gone to Long Beach, Mark.
Really?
Okay? No.
That's fair, actually. You
North
know, I wouldn't
Hollywood,
even
that works
have
for me.
gone to.
Anywhere in the valley, it's fine.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Is there anything that we should know about Sammy Obeid outside of his website that's coming up? Because I there's two things that have my curiosity because they're in the public domain, but I recognize that you may not be able to discuss.
There is something that I'm not supposed to discuss, but keep an eye out because it's coming.
Okay.
It's coming in the next few months, and it's one of the big ones. Big. Yeah.
Okay. Now, can we talk about rocking horses?
Did that already come out?
It's on our IMDb. I don't know if it came out. It sounds
That's
like
great.
it's not yet released, but
Yeah, I don't know what it's. I mean, we shot it earlier this year.
okay.
My first lead in a short film.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now you're SAG, right?
I'm SAG eligible.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got join, brother. Join
yeah.
the brotherhood and
Yeah.
sisterhood and, other genderhood
Yep.
and stuff.
SAG is all genders.
They allege that. They allege that loudly. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm part of that allegation. So, yeah.
Part of that.
I don't even know what that means, but it's like a AAA card, It's like, all right, it does some stuff. There's other stuff it could be better, but it's like it's the one I got. There's
Yeah.
like, it's not like there's alternatives. There's actually alternatives to AAA card,
SAG card.
Yeah, SAG card,
Yeah.
They're beating up on you and forcing you to like change in a bathroom. Like, we'll send someone right down as long as you're in LA. If you're not in LA, you're kind of screwed, SAG after.
That's
They're
what SAG
forced.
is. Screw all genders.
You said that. Almost Americans is also on your IMDb.
Yep. That never came out either.
It's just out there, but it's not out
It
there.
was released on a Native American network in Arizona. So
Seriously?
sorry.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, no, it is really cool. I'm just saying
But
you can't watch it.
You can't watch it?
Unless you're on a reservation.
Okay. What if you know someone who, I think my guest next week has got some Cherokee.
Cool. Well, maybe
He could hook us up,
he
maybe?
could hook you up with a little sneak preview.
Okay. I'm just, it's, you know how the town is, Sammy. You know people, and, you know,
small
you
town.
gotta, you know, it's like, you know, that's how you get stuff done. you
It
know?
is,
It's not
yeah.
about talent. It's about who you know.
It is.
It's Hollywood.
North Hollywood.
That's why we love it. North Hollywood, yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah.
In the midst of the car crushing yards and the strip club next door, and,
That's quite
you know,
Hollywood-ish.
it's just less
It's the Hollywood of
expensive.
cars.
There you go.
It's Hollywood of broken cars.
I literally thought I saw Jules walk out of there the other day. I actually have a buddy who looks exactly like Jules. He just did a wedding. Can you believe someone actually hired him to be the ring bearer at their wedding?
Crazy.
He's got the briefcase, the hair, the suit, the whole thing.
Perfect.
The attitude. It was
Perfect.
crazy. Absolutely crazy. Maybe he could be, you know, on your ticket.
Maybe.
Have you chosen?
No,
a
I'm not
running
going to
mate?
choose my running mate until 2035.
Okay, that seems fair.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a short list yet, or is that still? Is
I
it
have,
too early?
you know, listen, if I had a list of people who said they want to be my vice president, I would have probably about, 8 or 9 names.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot
It's
to
a
keep
lot if
track
you think
of.
it's a lot compared to how many people are running for president, which is me.
True.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I mean, they might not all survive.
No, they're not. That's why I'm not
So-
even, I'm not even going to bother thinking about it till 2035.
Yeah. I mean, would these be all millennials, or would they be, some folks that maybe reach into other demographics of age?
Could be anyone. Depends on, could be a
Yeah.
toddler if that's legal by then.
Okay. Well, if you get elected to Congress, are you open to that if you end up
Might run for
on the
Congress
journey?
or Senate or something or local.
Well, I
school
don't mean
board.
that you run, because you mentioned people write you in. I mean, if people like enough write you in for,
Sure, it could
dog
happen.
catcher in a certain county in Georgia, like, are you going to say, yeah, I'm gonna accept
Yeah,
that?
dog catcher in Georgia.
The people have spoken, and clearly that's what I meant to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe in democracy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you, Sammy?
Yep.
What does democracy mean to you, Sammy?
It means, just have a good fucking time. You want to quote me on that one?
I will quote you on that. That is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's also kind of what Paul McCartney and Elon Musk were talking about in the past week or so.
Okay. Okay.
All the world needs is love. But have a fucking good time. I mean, at the end of the day, what is love if you can't have a fucking good time?
Yeah.
That may or may not involve another, sentient creature that you may or may not have a relationship with. And of course, clearly we're talking about your friend. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to clarify.
Yeah, exactly. Leave it at that. That's what democracy is. It's choosing who you want to fuck.
I like that. Choosing who you want to fuck.
That's my platform for 2030.
Is that, do you have bumper stickers? Because I think I want one. And obey democracy. Choose who you want to fuck.
Mm-hmm. You really should. I mean, even though people would see that as, oh, that's not presidential. I mean, really, what president has not chosen who they wanted to fuck?
Right? And why should only the president get to do that?
Exactly. So it's a right that all people have,
So that's
but a
kind
lot
of
of people don't use.
the ultimate act of democracy, is that you're democratizing this right that U.S. presidents have always had.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying, hey, other people should have this right too.
Yeah. And even when people abuse democracy and screw people over, they're choosing who they want to fuck.
It's a fair point. So even, it feels very zen.
Yeah.
So even in
Even in
it's
the
the bad, there's good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. So we got to look forward not only to whatever is coming up next at sammyko.com, but something big,
Yeah.
a big thing with a big thing. And that's all you can say right now?
Yeah.
Can you give
that's
us a
all.
hint? Throw me something, Sammy. I'm a fledgling podcast. You know, Mambo number 5 here. You know, this could be the moment that, you know, helps me land, you know, President Barack Obama on the next podcast because of something that Sammy Obeid revealed right now on the podcast. Go.
Me and Obama have a TV show. We're playing brothers.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, guys and
Yeah.
ladies,
Yeah.
and gender differently specified.
Yep.
Oh my God. Well, thank you, Sammy.
Oh, thank you.
This is the whole reason I had you here today was for that.
Of course. I'm also in the
That-
Guinness Book of World Records.
That reveal.
Yep.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Did we do it? Did we cover all the...
That sounds like everything that I've ever done in my life.
We got the entire Wikipedia,
Yeah. The wiki.
the Sammypedia,
Yeah.
the Obeidopedia.
Yeah.
I like it. And I'm sorry we don't have hummus. I really...
It's really not something that most people need to apologize for.
But I'm not most people, and I feel like I should.
Sure.
Just, you know what? When you come back on episode 10, maybe we'll think a little more about the hummus.
I'm very picky about the hummus that I eat and where it comes from. So
Are
you're
you?
really just making it a hardship for yourself. But
Well, what hummus should it be?
it should either be made by a good restaurant.
Not
I don't
packaged.
I don't need store-bought hummus.
Okay.
I'll
Namaste.
throw it back in your face. Namaste.
Really? I understand.
Yeah.
It needs to be authentic.
Yeah. Needs
Yeah.
to be made today by somebody.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to smell the tahini in the
Yeah, it
cracks
should
of
be
their
a good
fingernails. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Sammy Obeid.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother. It was totally not awkward, but that's the nice thing about audio podcasts is that you can't see the awkwardness.
see what
You
happened.
can only
Yeah.
hear it. All right, Sammy. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Mambo number 5. Halfway to double digits. Ah, Sammy Obeid. Love that guy. That is one droll cat. Delighted we could finally get him on. Make sure you follow him on the social media so you don't miss any of his grooviness. He's got that all over at sammyko.com. And buy an Obeid 2036 t-shirt. I did. Hurry before it's too late. It'll still be a good deal. Look for the show notes at markromanempire.com. That's where we capture, for your convenience, any links or other groovy stuff mentioned. Podcast keeps growing, but I still need your help. If you like it, don't hog it all to yourself. Tell someone about it. We are on Podbean now. Apple Music, iTunes, and Spotify, not yet, but in my sites. You can also listen, though, right now on Stitcher, YouTube, and SoundCloud, where you want to be sure to follow, like, and share. More platforms are on the way. Guys, I do love creating this podcast and giving it to you for free. But it's not free to me to create. Oh, no contraire. So if you like it and want more, support our sponsors. ElladonDesigns.com, Vegas90210.com, and the merch at MarkRomanEmpire.com. Hey, I'm still on the Twitter, where I'm the Mark Roman, Instagram at Vegas90210. We got fan mail email now, finally. No guarantees I'll answer it on the podcast or otherwise, but if you believe your query has what it takes, send it to romanpodmail@gmail.com. That's romanpodmail@gmail.com. New cool stuff on the Mark Roman Empire website, not only where to listen to the podcast, but now previous episodes are listed alphabetically as well as by category. Also, a favorite things page with places highlighted on the podcast as well as groovy upcoming events. And for all those vendors rushing to this new podcast like Tony Robbins' Terminator Moths to a Flame, I got a vendor page. Because let's be honest, you vendors need some guidance. Seriously. Links to all of that you'll find at markromanempire.com. Until next week, kids, I remain Mark Roman.